Today I'm doing a 60-mile roundabout trip. It's a big loop from my home in Plano, Texas at Parker and 75 on the north side of Dallas. And I do this loop because, poor me, I have no one to ride with. And it gives me a nice loop, 60 miles, across about 3 or 4 fingers of Lake, can't think of the name of that lake. It starts with an L. Anyway, so I thought I'd turn on the CB radio. Yes, I have the factory Honda CB radio on this 2018 Goldwing Tour DCT. And I have fun with it. Now, I'm an amateur radio operator, KK5DON. It's a vanity call. I look for calls available with my name in it. And I wanted K5DON, but it was not available. And the FCC had not gotten to the K's as the second letter, but applying for a vanity call with an amateur extra license, it was no problem to get KK5DON. And in my first year of operating, twice, the other guy I was talking to on ham radio questioned that I was legal. Why? Because the FCC had not gotten to the K's to issue KK5DON. I told him that I was not offended. This is how we keep the bands legal and good operating practices going. I was not offended that he checked me out. I said, but you can look me up at qrz.com, KK5DON, and it's for real, because I told him in both cases that I hold an amateur extra class license, and I applied for the vanity call, and they gave it to me. You can ask for it. FCC may have not gotten to the K's at that time, but you can ask for it. So, CB on the motorcycle, I ride this 2018 Goldwing Tour DCT, this red one, and always looking for friends to ride with, but in this self-quarantine era, tough to find. And so I have this route where I leave my home in Plano and get on US 75 initially, exit Highway 5 in McKinney, go eastbound to on 380 to Farmersville, then south to Wiley. At this moment, I'm going through Wiley right now, actually just leaving Wiley, where I'll join up with Parker Road, which is under construction. And Parker goes straight to 75, crosses it, and a couple of blocks later, you're at my house. So I talked to a CB operator to give you an example of CB on the Goldwing. So even though I love electronics, technical, trained in air defense radar in the Army, highest class ham radio license, there's still a place for CB radio. I am not a fan of Bluetooth communications on the helmet communicators. Very limited, always a pain to pair up and get people talking. Whereas CB radio, I work in television news. I'm a video editor, a cameraman. Look up my network news pieces on donsmith.me, DONSMITH.me. Even though I'm very technical, I'm still a fan of CB on the motorcycle. Just agree on the channel and everybody shows up. Much greater range, much greater reliability. You can hear, you can talk to others nearby. Ask them if they see any smokies if they had. But I'm a fan of CB Radio, and this is the factory CB Radio on this 2018 Goldwing tour. And it works beautifully. It works just fine. Very happy with it, because I've yet to see anybody doing a video with the Goldwing CB Radio of a 2018 model and higher. I'm on Parker, and just ahead you see a water tower, just to my left slightly. And if you can see over there, that's South Fork. You don't believe me? I'm about to turn that way and prove it to you, see if we can capture it on the helmet cam. Years ago, working in TV news, I shot an interview with Larry Hagman, JR, on Southfork, on the TV show Dallas. I shot the interview, was packing up and walking back through the hotel, and I hear Hagman call me. He says, "Hey, Don, come on over and have a drink." There was Hagman at the bar by himself drinking. I sat with him and for about an hour, just great conversation with Larry Hagman, just whatever. Talking, I told him, I gave him my pitch for a segment of Dallas, and that was to have a cliffhanger over a poker game. If you ever saw the movie The Cincinnati Kid, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was just perfect for a TV show like Dallas. And, you know, the evil guy JR. All right, we're going to turn in. I'm going to prove to you that this is South Fork, right here. Let me back up here. First, we're going to pass the fence, an entry with a white arch. There it is, up there on my left. I'll try to get it this way. See where it says Southfork Ranch, right there. There's the house. Trying to do this without killing myself. Let's see if we can pull up to the gate and get a better look. Give you a better look of South Fork right here on Parker, street that goes by me about 5 miles further. There you go, there's South Fork. And there's one of the signs. Here's the other sign right here. All right. The other building, only about 3 blocks from my house, is the Alamo. It's not really the Alamo. It's a facade on a building belonging to an automobile dealer, and he made that facade the shape of the Alamo, the look and shape of the Alamo. And the first time I went down that street, I was just stunned that I was looking at the Alamo just straight ahead. If you see the John Wayne movie, and I've explained this before in other videos because I'm a Texan and I brag. It's my duty being a Texan. In the John Wayne movie, The Alamo, Almiron and Susanna Dickinson, with a baby, came to help defend the Alamo. Almiron was captain of the artillery. Susanna, his wife, taking care of Angelina, the baby. And every time Santa Anna would attack, Susanna would hide the baby behind a stone in the chapel of the Alamo. Of course, all the defenders were killed, and Susanna had to identify all the dead defenders, and she and the baby, along with a freed slave, made it to Gonzales, Texas, where she gave Colonel Sam Houston a lot of good information that Houston used to defeat Santa Anna in a 15-minute battle at the Battle of San Jacinto. Should be pronounced San Jacinto. And I mentioned earlier that I worked in network news, donsmith.me. And a producer I worked with was Clint Houston, the great-great-grandson of Colonel Sam Houston. What a tie. Anyway, the baby, Susanna, the wife was Susanna. The baby is Angelina. Angelina, in real life, is my great-great-grandmother. I'm descendant of the Alamo. So, 5 miles down Parker from my house is Southfork, and then a few blocks from my house is a building that looks like the Alamo. But it's actually 300 miles north of the actual Alamo in San Antonio. I was born in San Antonio. And as we get close, I'm going to show you the Alamo. All of my point of view shots are with the Sena 10C Evo, the newest 10C model from Sena, or Sena. A really nice camera, will record video for about an hour on a charge. And I like it. I like that it has true loop recording. You know, the GoPro advertises loop recording, but it's not loop recording. True loop recording needs no maintenance. In other words, I put it on loop recording and forget about it. I just hit record at every ride. I do not have to clear the chip. I do not have to make room for new recording. When it fills up my 128 gigabyte memory card, it just starts deleting the old clips, the oldest, one at a time as it needs it. And that could be days of writing, many hours of writing. And if you haven't if you haven't taken off the video that you need by then, as soon as it's okay to start recording, it records in 3-minute clips. And so when it fills up that card, it'll go to the earliest recording, delete it, and continue recording, all seamlessly, no frames missed. That's true loop recording, and for that I love this Sena 10C Evo. I do have a couple of nits with it. I wish it could do 4K. It does 1920 by 1080. And I wish that I could power it from the bike for long rides so that the recording is always going. I have a cable, a coiled power cable for it that goes between the Evo on my helmet to a power port near my left knee, but being a coiled cable, it doesn't flop around. It's always a straight line from the Evo to the power port. I don't even know it's there yet. If Sena, if you're listening, if you could allow the 10C to operate continuously while plugged in and record video at all times, boy, that would be a killer feature. I think you'd sell more 10Cs than you'd shake a stick at. All right, when we turn left at this light, which is the light just before my house, we're going to see the Alamo straight ahead. The Alamo is in a kind of a turn, and so when we get aligned to the road, we're going to be looking straight down at the Alamo. Do you see it? Straight ahead. There's the Alamo, which is a facade on a building at an automobile dealership. There you go. The Alamo. The fake Alamo. The one that's 300 miles north of the real Alamo. Plano, Texas, Plano. And there's the Alamo building. Doesn't look like an Alamo from this angle, but you have to get to the facade. Now to go home. Hope you enjoyed it. Ride safe. We'll ride again. Bye.